Welcome back. Africa Month contributes to the Pan-African Call for Unity and Cooperation. The theme set for this year is a year of OR Tambo, building a better Africa and a better world. A number of activities are set to celebrate the diversity in national cultures, languages, literature, art, poetry, history and music on the 25th of May. Not forgetting that this is also African Language Day. The aim of this day is to urge all Africans to use their African languages on social media or in any other form of communication. This morning we'll be discussing the importance of African Language Day, which are both happening on the 25th of May. Well, joining us is Gidu Gwangwa, who is the director at Willy Theatre, and Willy Seyama from Africa Language Day. Lady and gent, welcome to the show. It's so great to have you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Brawi, I'll start with you. Obviously, we're celebrating Africa Month. It's also African Language Day on the 25th, which is the same day as Africa Month as well. Every time we talk about a sense of pride in our African cultures and our African heritage, the issue of languages pops up. Our previous guest was talking to Simpiwe about, a lack of African books on bookshelves. What is it about African people that they seem to run away from their language in a sense?
Well, I guess we were made to believe that our languages are not as important as the languages that were imported into the continent. You see it not only in South Africa, it's unfortunately the case in 99% of the African territory. To the east and the south, we speak English. To the west, we speak French. To the north, we speak Arabic. And our languages are, as a result, relegated. It's so sad that even in some countries, the official language is a foreign language. The example in this case is Benin, where the official language is French, and the local languages are not even taught in school. So in a sense, as South Africa, we're still kind of fortunate because, our languages are considered official, but when you consider that the predominant language in the country right now is English. And, you can also attribute that to the fact that maybe we don't love ourselves that much as African.
Oskitu, it's great to have you also. Wendy Brow has been a part of the South African arts landscape for many, many years. What is it exactly that you guys are planning or celebrating? How are you celebrating Africa Month?
This Africa Month, we've had a program that ran the whole month, and I dispersed it around the city and also collaborated with other spaces. Willy Theatre, for example, we're linking up with them to see what they're up to. But every Friday this month we've had Afro-Latin and Kizumba lessons and getting into the root of our dances across the continent. And we have had dialogues. One of the dialogues was held yesterday, which was the Pan-African Evolution Dialogue, which we had a panel of very, very astute members. Vanessa Perumal was there, Posipongani III was there, Advocate Sipho Mandula and Baba Bundu, where we tried to unpack and look at the origins of the word Pan-Africanism, where it came from and what it is today. What does it mean to us today, and how do we live Pan-Africanism and put it into our everyday? How do we teach it?
It sounds like a delicious conversation that was had. Please let us in on some of the findings or some of the conversations that popped up around the topic.
Well, it's going to be a monthly topic that happens at the Willy Brow. But what was very interesting was looking at the word Africa and the name, whether do we stick to that in its origins as well. We looked at the root of who we are as Africans, the identity. I wanted to see whether Pan-Africanism is inclusive or exclusive. Who is Pan-African? What is the diaspora? But more than anything, what does it mean to us as a people in South Africa? Because of the kind of contentions that we have xenophobia and Pan-Africanism trying to live in the same space. That kind of conflicts. So I thought it was an important conversation for us to have, say, us as South Africans, need to define what that is and move forward with an identity that we align with.
And I wonder if it's possible, because we as South Africans seem to continue to aspire to, you know, the Western world, keep up with Western standards, be it in our clothing, in our fashion, in the languages we speak, even in our music. But I'll come back to you on that. But Willy, Africa Languages Day, what is planned? How will you guys be celebrating? And how can ordinary South Africans participate and be a part of what you're trying to do?
Well, our mission is to get an estimated 300 million Africans who are on social media to post and tweet in their mother tongues on the 25th of May. And this campaign was really inspired by what happened in November, when Twitter informed us that they had increased their character limit to 280. As you can imagine, our languages are really very rich. So we tend to be fairly wordy versus the likes of English. So in our view, we felt that you know, the increase in characters gave African languages the opportunity to really have a moment in the sun. So on the back of that, we put together this campaign, and we're saying to all Africans, you don't have a reason. You have to go out there and post and tweet in your languages. And the reason is really very simple. If I can paraphrase what Brahu said in June of 2017, when he was receiving his honorary doctorate at Wits, he said, we are the only nation as Africans who run the risk that our languages are going to die, and we're busy adopting other people's languages and not ours. So it's really up to us as Africans to basically communicate a simple message that African languages matter. And social media is really the space where we feel that we can do that so well, because we can reach out to the globe with that simple message. So Africans don't have to do much. They just have to do what they do every day, just in their languages, using the hashtag African Languages Day.
And I actually like that, because I'm sitting here thinking, geez, it's going to be such a challenge for me. But I mean, maybe if I don't know how to articulate what I want to tweet, I can go back and ask a grandmother, a mother, a father, and from there I'll be able to get the help that I need.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Oskitu, final word?
Yes.
Africa Month, your message to Windy Brow, and what else will be happening that we can look forward to at the theatre?
Well, this Africa Day, there will be great celebrations. Hopefully DSC is going to come in and partner us with us on that. It will be a big celebration. We'd love Windy Brow to be a big home for Africa Month. So keep your eye out on that. And thank you to everybody that has made it possible thus far.
I'm just so glad that Windy Brow Theatre, after all these years, is standing.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's looking beautiful. People are still scared of the space, but they shouldn't be. It's beautiful. It's secure.
And it's a space for everyone.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Lady and gent, it was so great to have you, Willy. And
thank you.
Of course, you do. Well, as we lead up to the 25th of May, which is Africa Day, it's celebrated throughout the continent and different parts of the world. We just had Gitu Gwangwa, who is, of course, the director at the Windy Brow Theatre, and Willy Seyama from Africa Language Day, who just joined us to discuss and elaborated on the importance of the day. Now, we do invite you to send us your tweets on this conversation that we've just had, and I think especially that whole challenge that Willy and their campaign has posed to all of us to tweet in our mother tongue. Will you be able to? I mean, I know I can, but what about you? Time for us to take a quick break. Do tweet us at Morning Lab SABC.